Hello, BookTube darlings. Today I'm going to be talking about whether you should be reading The Love Hypothesis, what my initial thoughts on fake dating as a trope is, kind of going into it. Then what I actually thought reading the book, why it works well, a bit about Ali Hazelwood's writing, and then a little summary of some of my favourite bits, and we're doing a little read of the end chapters too, which should be exciting. This is going to be the most all-over book review ever. I'm not a book reviewer, I just like books. So, enjoy the ramble. Let me put my child in a better place. I have an idea. Hello, baby. Can you see him up there? Does that work? It does. So, look at him. You're so high. Oh, don't fall. I love him. So it's gonna start very spoiler free, and then at the end of the video, I am gonna be doing big spoilers. This is a STEM romance with the main tropes being grumpy sunshine as well as fake dating. Now, obviously, there was a lot of hype with Lily Reinhart's amazing TikToks, and I picked this up just before that because everyone was telling me, Ali, you've got to read it. But I always thought fake dating as a trope is so cliche. For me, it was like, oh, they eventually fall in love, and it would come across as really dull, and I wouldn't enjoy it at all. So I like the idea of a STEM romance being a comp sci major. I think that's what you say in America. I've got a master's in computer science. From the UK, you know what that means. I'm just a huge nerd, if that somehow wasn't already obvious. So, fake dating. I thought it'd be cliche and boring, but it works so well. And I'm not sure if it's the writing style that helps that, because Ali Hazelwood is an amazing author, which I'll get to. But this is my first real fake dating as a primary trope in a book. It fucking eats. I'll be honest, it eats. The first thing is there's so much tension. Both characters have to pretend there's nothing that exists, and it's all just a facade, this glamorous display for the world to see, to convince them of something else. There is ultimately a primary reason why they are fake dating. Like, you don't just go, hey, Olive, let's pretend to fake date, right? There is, which I will get into, a reason why they both start doing this. It's coupled with real feelings, and it creates this really, really unique dynamic throughout the book of chapter by chapter, slowly falling harder. They're enjoying things that they probably shouldn't be because they're not actually together, and it's so good. And in line with the tension is forced proximity, which is one of my favourite tropes. And that doesn't always mean they get to the inn, there's only one bed. Recent, I'm looking at you. Like, it's a lot more than that, and especially in this STEM romance, it's things like they're in a school, so they have to be seen together, holding hands, going to a cafe together. They ultimately make up excuses to spend time together to put on this show to convince everyone that they are dating, which they never would have anywhere. Otherwise, you're never going to sit down and have a coffee with someone when you're not dating them and you don't know them at all. And that opens up a whole load of avenues for interactions that is very unique to the fake dating trope, which I really liked. Because it's not just like, I'm used to false proximity ultimately being like, there's only one bed at the inn, you sound Josh Jules, that type of thing. But when it's more subtle, God, I was kicking my feet. The idea that you have to hold hands and walk around a school, but it's like, fuck, I really like this. It felt real and tangible, which I really liked. There's also this thing with fake dating that there's romantic milestones, the first time you hold hands, the first kiss, etc., that they have to pretend. So introduction, even something as simple as an introduction as, oh, this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend, when they're not actually together. It all starts off as pretend, but then it ends up having this double meaning. You're halfway through the book, characters are slowly falling for each other, and they're liking the idea of this person being their partner, not just temporary, not just for show, but actually full time. You get these internal monologues that I love. The feeling of holding someone's hand and you get those butterflies in your stomach. Maybe at the start this didn't even exist, and then as the book continues you start to get these more dramatically. Oh my, it's so cute. Like, I was kicking and giggling my feet the whole time. Also, you get this really cool who falls first, which I love. Everyone loves a who falls first. Everyone loves she falls first. No, what was it? She falls for him, but he falls harder and faster, right? In fake dating, at least in this book, you don't get dual POVs, and besides the end chapters, which we'll get to. So you have this idea of one's falling for the other. Is the other falling as hard? Have they already fallen harder? Are they falling as fast? Are you overstepping? And something as simple as holding hands becomes this real, should I do this? Is this suitable for our fake relationship? When it is, but you're unaware of that because you don't know how they're feeling. It's like ambiguity as a subplot of, Are they really into me? Am I too into them? Which I loved it so much. It kept me hooked throughout the whole thing. And then arguably the best bit about fake dating is the big reveal. Oh my god, it's so cute. When it finally happened, especially in this book, which I will get to, I thought it'd be so cliche. Obviously, they like you. Fucking surprise. No. It's so good. It's genuinely amazing. This idea that this, especially with time frames, like I'm reading like 40 chapters, that might be like 2 or 3 months. And then one of them finally comes out, takes that step and is like, this is real. I need you, I want you, and I'm not gonna hide it anymore. I know it might have started off fake, but this is everything to me. The emotional payoff, the yearning, when the other reciprocates as well, and they're both done bad, and like, holy shit, wait, you like me, I like you. The whole book almost builds up to this big, what can only be described as like, imagine if it was in the rain, right? One of those emotional, rainy, angry, I love you, notebook coded fucking love confessions. It very much builds up to one of those with fake dating. So again, I thought the Trope was just cliche, predictable and boring. He's so adorable, I love him. I can't stop looking at him. But it works. Maybe it's Ali Hazelwood's amazing writing style, that does help it, but there's so much going on, so many subplots. It's not just fake dating, it's everything else that happens because of the fake dating that made me really like it. And if you're hesitant about the idea of fake dating, you think it's cliche, you think it's not gonna work, please, this would be my go-to rec for this trope. Why is it so well done? Because of Ali Hazelwood, the queen she is. This was my first of her books, and she's got a whole load of series. I just finished Love Theoretically as well, which I can do a video of because everyone loves to say if ever there's something slightly formal that I'm Jack Smith Turner. I've just finished that book. That is a man, I'm a little boy next to him. Love the comparisons. I'm not Jack Smith. I'm just not him. Why Ali Hazelwood's so good at writing this? There's a STEM focus, a heavy STEM focus. Never enough that if you're not, these are PhD doctorate students. You don't even have to have an undergraduate, you don't even study at college to understand the basics of what's going on regarding the STEM world, the STEM environment, but there's little things thrown in throughout that are relatable to those who have done these higher education studies. For example, the idea of, and not just relevant to STEM, but the idea of you spend days, sleepless nights working on your dissertation proposal to have it rejected. And there's a scene, I can't remember, I want to say it's Malcolm, but I'm not sure. One of Olive's friends gets the diss rejected, and you take it personally, even though you just get a critical review and an objective assessment that it's not good enough, you need to improve these things. When you've spent that long working on something, you do take it personally. You think your lecturer is a dick. The weird SPF friend. So it's a STEM-focused romance, which feels really fresh and unique. And this does come off me reading mostly for the strict romance, the Twisted and Kings of series. These people are typically incredibly intelligent, qualified in their field for multiple years, doctors, or just straight up billionaires or royalty, which doesn't feel relatable. Great books, I can't relate. Having a student and a STEM-focused romance makes it feel very tangible, and I really like that feeling of I could relate to a lot of what was going on, and it feels really fresh in the romance environment to take away from these princesses and these billionaire yacht lifestyles that someone's so lucky to be given because they fell for someone. Instead, it's this unique, they're not amazing people, they're not world-class pilots, I don't know, they're just students, and it really reads like that, which as a student makes it, I definitely am biased when I say this, being a computer science major or computer science masters for those in the UK, big nerd. I could relate to it a lot for the first time in a long time, which is really refreshing. And then keeping on this idea of the relatability of it, everyone felt real. They're not masterpieces of art. They're not people who need to be framed in a museum. The heroines, Olive and her friends, and Adam and his friends, they're just relatable people. They're a little awkward, they're a little shy. They have intelligence, but they are flawed, which makes them just feel human. Like everyone has got that weird SPF friend. Again, it's another reason why I enjoyed Ali Hazelwood's writings, because these felt like real people that I would know. And then after reading this, I decided to have a look. So the STEM stuff, the STEM is never too STEMmy. This feels so real. It feels like me when I'm studying. It feels like my awkward, cringy, weird friend group. She's got a PhD in neuroscience. She's a fucking STEM baddie. As soon as I read that, everything made so much sense. It was like the penny dropped. That's why there's these weird friends, these awkward relationships with people who naturally in the normal world probably wouldn't ever meet but get along so well because you meet those people in these STEM environments. He also sprinkles in banter throughout. Olive's very cheeky, which I really like. There is a comedic element that runs through with Malcolm and Anne and their interactions with Olive as well. There's always like humor going on, which just made the book more enjoyable as well. Also, all the characters are raw. As in, they aren't afraid to show emotional vulnerability, which again humanizes everyone and makes it so much more relatable for the reader. There's a unique mix of like rom-com fluff with like deeper themes of self-doubt, belonging, career struggles that everybody goes through. And again, I know I'm echoing the same point here, but I'm trying to get across that this book is so relatable because it's just normal people, which, oh my god, I was absorbed by this. Overall, the characters, the way Ali Hazelwood writes the book, all of it feels tangible, it feels real, and it feels relatable, which I absolutely loved it. I didn't expect that going into it, but I'm so happy I picked up this book. From here out, I'm going to go into spoilers, so if you've not read the book, hopefully that's enough to convince you to read it. But I'm now going to go into why fake dating and why it works so well, specifically in the love hypothesis. Olive and Adam's dynamic feels real. It genuinely feels real. You get this awkward, earnest Olive versus a grumpy, intimidating Adam, at least face value, and then he slowly begins to open up. He lets out this almost cheeky, humorous side. He still retains his slightly morally grey, ambiguous personality, but he warms to Olive, and Olive reciprocates that, and you can feel that. Again, this is just honing back to the point that I keep reciprocating, which is it feels like they actually are in a relationship. Yes, Adam does warm up. He does open up to Olive and let her in. He gets a bit more cheeky. But at no point is he flying around private jets or anything ridiculous. It feels like a relationship that could actually exist. It feels tangible, which again, just I enjoyed. The fake setup for the fake dating also felt realistic. This is one of the things I was slightly concerned about, was you fake date for a reason that doesn't really make much sense. This one kind of did. Liv needing to fake her attraction to someone to convince Anne she's not into Jeremy. That makes sense. If my friend thought I was hung up on someone, a way to solve it would be kissing someone in front of them. That would definitely convince them. And then you get this deeper, actually Adam has a benefit to get out of as well with the funds he's trying to get. Because if he's in a relationship, obviously he'll stay and he won't move colleges, high schools, I forget what the name is in America. I think it's college. He won't move colleges and leave and go to Stanford. He's been offered. So the realistic credibility of the reason they get together, yes, dramatized would happen in real life, maybe not, but it does make sense and it flows through the plot really well. The fact that it's centered around academia, I felt like it heightened the stakes personally. There's the conferences that they have to attend. There's lab work they both need to get done. There's reputations that need to be kept. Ultimately, Adam is a professor, but you also get this balance of fun, tropey romance with realistic academic pressures. Olive spends countless nights awake working through them, sending out emails, not getting responses. That is something that happens. Adam ultimately is her fake boyfriend, but also acts as a professor for her at times, reviewing her work, giving her honest feedback. Like this balance of haha, funny, fluffy rom-com with what the two characters are going through was so well written. And I also love the fanfic roots, because ultimately it's a Reylo fanfic, which I was kind of aware of, but I did some more research after, and it actually was fully based off Kylo Ren and Rey Skywalker from the newest Star Wars trilogy, which suck, by the way. But that does definitely add to romantic drama, and if it's a very popular fanfic, if you've read that before then go into this, you will definitely love it. Now, I'm going to get away from trope stuff. I'm just going to talk strictly free reign about the books. Overall, this book fucking is so good. I've been saying, Olive feels real. She feels like an actual student. Adam with this slow burn, slowly falling, and the guy's down bad from day one, which was such a cute reveal by Adam's friend right in one of the final chapters when they were all out for dinner, which I was like, oh. Olive's friends feel like real friends. They feel like genuine people. Malcolm and Anne's interactions with her are so good. The big thing with Tom, obviously, is the recording, where he is saying horrible things, which I will not be repeating. And Anne and Malcolm are suddenly, you need to put your shit aside and really do something about this. Especially Anne being such a strong woman in STEM. Throughout the whole plot, she's described with what she's up to within societies. Obviously, she's got very stern words about Tom. And I thought he was a piece of shit from the start, and I was so happy for his downfall. One thing that really stood out to me was the romantic milestones. I was literally I'm giggling thinking about it. When Olive has to put sun cream on Adam's back, she's like in that massage, and she's so down bad. A truck scene where she goes and kisses him in front of everyone. God, I love that so much. You find out that Adam loves it too. And then when she has to sit on Adam's lap during the conference, yeah, there's so many little interactions between the two of them where like, Olive's loving what's going on and Adam's kind of hesitant. Another thing I loved was the beginning of the book, right? It all starts off, basically Olive goes into this bathroom and there's a guy and then basically questions her reasons for studying and then a philosophical response of why should you study? She gives her reasons. And then Olive doesn't stop thinking about this guy for years and the nice things he said about her valid reasons to study, because ultimately everyone has these academic conflicts within yourself where you're like, am I good enough to do this? There's self-doubts. Turns out to be Adam all along, which I was like, kind of did assume that. Even reading the first part, I was like, this probably is Adam, but I still love the reveal. Olive is such a good character, and Adam, he's cold at the start. He doesn't seem to like much. But then he ends up, he gets all dressed up for their Coffee Wednesdays. And there's like a part where Olive, they don't go to Coffee Wednesday. I can't remember why. Maybe it's Adam's at a conference or he's out of town. And like Olive's missing it so much and it's so sweet because obviously it's just fake, it doesn't exist. I do find out that's mutual yearning, but I love her. Just spending that hour a day with him is her whole week, which is something that happens when you're down bad for someone. You wait to the day you can meet them, whether it's on a Saturday, you know, going out for a movie together or whatever. So yeah, Olive, I loved Olive. I loved Olive so much. Anne is a very strong character throughout the book, whether it's what Tom's saying or she is telling Olive what time she's afraid to admit, which is saying, oh, I see the way you look at Adam. You're so damn bad. You want him so bad. And I was like, no, I don't. Oh, fuck, I really do. Shit. I thought that was so cute. I love the side characters. I think they are so strong, Anne and Malcolm, in their separate ways. But what really is the best part about this book, besides obviously, you know, the milestones, is the ending. Those last few chapters, they're at the conference together and obviously Olive has her incident with Tom and then Adam immediately drops everything. He's like, I'm taking you out, we're going out for dinner tonight. Takes her to a place that he hates but knows she will like. He consistently does that throughout the book actually. He will do things that aren't for him, but he'll do things for her to spend time with her, which is so sweet. It might not be his interest, it might not be his passion, it might not be his type of food, but he just wants to experience it vicariously through someone and spending time with her, which it's so lovely, cute, and feels realistic as well, which I like. But yeah, they go back to the conference. There are 2 beds. They didn't use 2 beds. That scene was the cherry on top. And Adam's POV at the end, and also during what goes on, I liked how he wanted her so badly. He was low-key, even though like, he was feral for her, which was hot as fuck, by the way, but always did things on her terms, which I really liked, because sometimes in books it can be like, hey, I want you to fuck, but it wasn't that. It was as much as he wanted her. I say restrained, not that he would do anything without her consent, but like the idea that he took it slow for her. Everything he did, it was the double checking. Can I do this? Is this okay? How do you know? It's literally the bare minimum, I know, but it still felt really like heartwarming that he's taking care of her and his priority is always making sure she's okay, even in these moments. The only thing I didn't like was when he was swallowing her whole by her boobies. That felt a bit weird. I remember reading that, so what the fuck's going on here? But the best part of the book for me is the confession to Olive. Because Olive, by this point in the book, already knows she wants Adam and she's having self-doubt about what he wants. Because he's hard to read, he's morally grey. But she wants to spend one night with him, and even if she knows it's only going to be one night, that attraction does exist. And she's only a human, and I don't think I'd fucking want one night with Adam Carlsen, and I'm straight, so I couldn't imagine being her. But again, the best part for me, the bit that really stood out, was when Tom and Adam are at their dinner with the Stanford professors. I've just realised they're Harvard professors, and they're at Stanford. I've got it the wrong way around because I've got the book. Anyway, so Adam immediately sees Olive walk in. They've actually had a bit of a moment as well, talking to someone who is described as a beautiful faculty member, which I think is important from Olive, who's got so much self-doubt. She looks at Adam speaking to someone who's just objectively pretty, and it's like, oh, he probably won't come over to me. First thing this man does, excuse me, while staring at Olive. I have to read this bit. This bit I loved so much. She had not figured that Adam would notice her while in conversation with a young, beautiful faculty member. She had not figured that he'd suddenly stop speaking, eyes widening, and lips parting, that he'd mutter, excuse me, was staring at Olive stand from the table, ignoring the curious looks in his direction, that he'd marched to the entrance where Olive was, with quick, long strides and a concerned expression. Olive, are you okay? That's a man. I like how Ali has made sure to mention as well that it's a young, beautiful faculty member. Olive has so much self-doubt that's echoed throughout this book. It's said she doesn't think he'll come over. The first thing he does, his eyes part, his lips drop, he goes over. First word is, are you okay? He's known as an asshole by everyone in the school. But for Olive, his priority is always, is she okay? And he's so cute. I love him so much. Olive's reaction's funny as fuck, by the way. Oh, his voice and his eyes. And the way his hands came up as if to touch her, to make sure that she was intact. Though, right before his fingers could close around her biceps, he hesitated and let them fall back to his sides. It broke her heart a little. I'm fine. She attempted a smile. I'm sorry to interrupt this. I know it's important. That you want to move to Boston, and this is inappropriate. But it's now or never, and I wasn't sure if I'd have the courage to... She was rambling, so she took a deep breath and started again. I need to tell you something. Something happened with... It's fucking arsehole Tom. Every time he comes, this guy pissed me off. What does Tom sound like in my head? Okay. Hey, Olive! Tom. But of course. Hi, Tom. Olive held Adam's gaze and didn't look at him. He did not deserve to be looked at. Olive stands on fucking business in this scene. I love her for it, because she's got so much doubt. She lacks confidence. But in this moment, she's a fucking diva. She's a queen, and I love her. It's giving Jude. Can you give us a minute of privacy? She could see his oily fake smile with the corner of her eye. Olive, I know you're young and don't know how these things work, but Adam's here to interview for a very important position, and he can't just leave. Adam ordered, low and cold. Olive closed her eyes and nodded, taking a step back. It was fine. It was Adam's right not to talk to her. I'm sorry, Not you. Tom, leave us. I was like, fuck, Adam's being an asshole. No. He just wants Olive right now. Tom's come over out of nowhere to cause nonsense. Adam, again, showing why he's such a good boyfriend and such a good guy. They've had an argument before this as well, right? He doesn't care. Olive's not doing well. She wants a moment of privacy. Tom is his best friend for years. Adam doesn't care. He's worried. He shows that he cares and orders his best friend to leave. It's so cute. And it gets so much better. Oh. Well then. Dude, Tom said, sounding amused. You can't just get up from the table in the middle of an interview dinner and leave. Adam repeated. Tom laughed, brazen. No, not unless you're coming with me. We're collaborators. And if you act like an asshole during a dinner with my department because of some student you're screwing, it will reflect poorly on me. You need to come back to the table. And then the recording starts playing where Tom is saying horrible things, the verbal harassment. I'm not going to repeat those because it makes me feel sick. Adam and Tom both listen. What the fuck's going on? She pauses it and then continues to play a bit more. And we'll pick up from where the end of the second recording ends. What the... Tom took a step forward, hand extended to grab the phone from Olive. This bit, Adam till now had been cute. He'd been caring, he'd been kind, he'd been sexy, but he hadn't been protective. And this made me fall in love with Adam. Tom took a step forward, hand extended to grab the phone from Olive. He didn't go far, because Adam pushed him away with a palm on his chest, making him stumble several steps back. He still wasn't looking at Tom, and not at Olive either. He was staring down at her phone. Something dark and dangerous and frighteningly still in his expression. She should have probably been scared. Maybe she was a little. Again, Olive is just a human. This is the first time she's had Adam react this way in her vicinity. And yes, she's like, holy shit, this is crazy. But ultimately, it's a guy who's, 20 kilos heavier, half a foot taller. Even though she knows he cares, you're probably going to be a little bit scared. And then the recording continues to play. And now we get to why I love Adam Carlsen. It was him. Adam whispered. His voice was low, barely a whisper, deceptively calm. His eyes unreadable. It was Tom. The reason you were crying. Olive could only nod. In the background, Tom's recorded voice droned on and on, talking about how mediocre she was, how Adam would never believe her, calling her names. This is ridiculous. Tom was coming closer again, reattempting to take the phone away. I'm not sure what this bitch's problem is, but she's clearly... Calling Olive a bitch in front of Adam is fucking brave, and my god, does he pay for it. Adam exploded so fast, she didn't even see him move. One moment, he stood in front of her, and the next, he was pinning Tom against the wall. I'm going to kill you, he gritted out, little more than a growl. If you say another word about the woman I love, if you look at her, if you even think about her, I'm going to fucking kill you. Adam, Tom choked out. Actually, I will kill you anyway. Yeah! I love that. Not only, right, do we get the confession, the big reveal, Adam loves her. Not only does Adam fucking listen to what's going on, pay attention, and fuck over his best friend, he is protective, and oh my god, it's so hot. Maybe we shouldn't glorify saying you're going to murder people. That's probably not a great move. But oh my god, I can't describe emotion. I was literally fucking screaming reading that part of the book. It was so good. I want someone to protect me like Adam. Not only son of business to his best friend, by the way, but he hears this, and any relationship that might have existed with Tom is gone, and he doesn't care. He only cares for Olive. He says he loves her. Oh my god, it's perfect. And actually there's a bit coming up that made me like Adam even more. So basically everyone starts running over. All the faculty are like, what the fuck's going on? Adam, she called. Her voice was barely audible in the chaos. Barely audible. He turned to look at her, and there were entire worlds in his eyes. Adam, don't, she whispered. He's not worth it. Just like that. Adam took a step back and let Tom go. He headed straight for Olive, and he cradled her head with both hands, fingers sliding through her hair and holding her tight as he lowered his forehead to hers. He was warm and smelled like himself, like safe and home. They're so cute together. His thumbs swept through the mess of tears on her cheeks. I'm so sorry, I didn't know. Dr. Carlsen. A male voice boomed loudly from behind them, and she felt Adam's body stiffen against hers. I demand an explanation. Adam paid no heed to the man and kept holding Olive. Oh my god, not only at a moment's notice, his anger, his rage, because Olive simply asked, gone. And what does he do as soon as it's gone? Go straight over to Olive, holds her, apologizes, makes sure she's okay. And that's what I love about Adam Carlsen. He's protective. He'll burn the world for her. But if she simply said not to, suddenly this rage that she was slightly terrified of, gone. And he's just caring. He's just holding her. And oh, it's so sweet. Adam, Olive whispered, you have to answer him. Adam exhaled. Then he pressed a long, lingering kiss to Olive's forehead before reluctantly disentangling himself. When she was finally able to get a good look at him, he seemed more like his usual self. Calm, angry at the entire world, in charge. Send me that recording immediately, he murmured at her. She nodded, and he turned to the elderly man who just approached them. We need to talk. Privately. Your office? The other man looked shocked and offended, but nodded stiffly. Behind him, Tom was making a fuss, and Adam clenched his jaw. Keep him away from me. He turned to Olive before leaving, bending closest to her and lowering his voice. His palm was warm against her elbow. I'm going to take care of this, he told her. There was something determined, earnest in his eyes. Olive had never felt safer or more loved. I love them so much. And then I'll come find you, and I'll take care of you. Round of applause for the fucking blueprint. Again, like Adam up to this point, he'd been kind, he'd been caring, but his protectiveness for Olive, his worry when she walked in, him not even questioning what was going on, but slamming his friend to his wall. And then not only is that insanely attractive to have someone who'd go to that lengths for you, the fact, a penny drop, a moment's notice, the rage is gone, the anger's gone. Because Olive simply said no. Olive simply said, he's not worth it. Then he immediately goes to this caring, loving side. The long lingering kiss, the holding her, the apologising. I loved Adam to this point. He'd been morally grey, he'd been slightly grumpy, and he'd been hot, right? He's been topless, the dude's ripped. But this protective side of him is what really made me fall in love with Adam Carlsen. That is a man, that is the fucking standard. I'll take care of this, then I'll take care of you. I don't even need to say anymore, I don't think. That is my favourite section from the whole book. The intimacy is nice and that sort of stuff. But maybe this might be the guy side of me talking with the unique POV I get on these romance books. But that part of the book, I fucking loved, I adored. It is literally the blueprint for all men. That is how it should be. Be protective. I'm not saying slam your friends into walls, except for what Tom said, deserves a slam into a wall. Guilty. Call me guilty. The way he stopped because she asked and then immediately didn't care what was going on, didn't care about the millions going on. The money wasn't a worry to him. The professor's getting annoyed. He just wanted to make sure Olive was okay and apologise for everything. And oh my God, they're just so adorable together. And then, the other part is ultimately the ending of the book. They recreate their kiss a year later on. They're both happy together. And what does she say again? I think she says, and Olive says, "May I kiss you, Dr. Carlsen?" To the minute, exactly 1 year on. I love this book so much. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5, which is really good for romance books because sometimes they're cliche and I tend to rate them low, but this book was amazing. If you've not read it and you've watched this far, please give it a go. I'll probably do one of these for love theoretically, but everything about this book is so good. The relationships with her friends, the environment being STEM, the academia, the forced proximity, the fake dating, it reads really well. It's up there as one of my best reads of the year. I've now got an hour of video that I wanted to chop down. I've been yapping for so long. This is my first book review. It's a mess, I'm aware. If people want a more structured video, I can work on that and create that. But I'd rather, at least for me, make something that is my style, that's unique, and it's kind of me just going on rambling tangents. There'd be like a really, a really structured layout. I get that, but if people want that, I'm happy to provide that for everyone. But I am so sorry that I posted that one video and took a break. I haven't had time. I've got a lot more free time now, so uploads will be twice a week. But yeah, Love Hypothesis. I understand what the hype's about. If I can end this the only way my videos can end. See you later, Quest Squad! Okay, get you down from there, baby. You're so high.